evening, Husker Nation. I'm David Swotek, reporting from our studio, and the Sports Ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. First, 5 Nebraska football seniors have earned 2025 team awards. Defensive backs Deshaun Singleton and Sierra Wright were chosen as the co-winners of the Guy Chamberlain Trophy. Linebacker Javen Wright has earned the Tom Novak Award. Tight end Heinrich Harburg earned the Cletus Fisher Native Son Award, and defensive back Derek Branch was selected for the Cornhusker Award. All 5 will receive their awards at the Outland Trophy Banquet in Omaha on January 21st. Next, heading into some men's basketball news, Braden Frager has earned another award this season as he was named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week. The Lincoln Southwest grad scored 17 points and grabbed 4 rebounds in Nebraska's 78-55 win over North Dakota on Sunday. This win extends the record to 12-0, and Nebraska is now one of 6 teams in the Division I to be undefeated. And speaking of men's basketball, sports analyst John Rothstein announced on his live show that if the men's team reaches the NCAA tournament and wins a tournament game for the first time in school history, he will fly out to Lincoln and host a happy hour here in the capital city on his dollar. The Sports Ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Coming up next is the first hour of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Rebound, Berke brings it up. Boy, he's impressive bringing the ball up before, spins away from 2 defenders in the paint, behind the back pass, layup up and good by Sam! Oh, what a highlight reel exchange that was down the floor. 71-51, Nebraska by 20. Here's Berke, 3-ball on the way. Got it! Triple-double! Berke Buyuktuncel, the terrific Turk.
Still dribbling his Prince with 4, with 3 down the left lane liner, driving layup on the rim and missing. Bojan the rebound, back up at the buzzer. It goes in, and it counts. Petra Bojan at the buzzer gives Nebraska the lead.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
And a Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Is that even legit? I don't know. But welcome into a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly. And again, we are across the country here tonight for tonight's episode. Kyle's in New Jersey. I'm in Oklahoma. But shout out Josh is in Lincoln making this all happen. But Kyle, you made it, and it's snowing there.
Yeah, we got a couple inches of snow on the ground. It's a wet snow. It's a rain snow mix, so it's those big snowflakes. But it's been a long time since I've had something even close to a snowy white Christmas, right? Like you said, it's not Christmas. It's not Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve, which I do believe is a thing that we should celebrate more at Christmas Eve. I know some people out there that are driving home and driving to wherever are still working today. So I guess it's not a full-fledged holiday, but it feels like Christmas here in New Jersey. So we have Northeast covered, Southwest covered, and then we have Lincoln covered, which I'm looking at my weather app and talking to Josh, our great producer. It's about like 50-something degrees in Lincoln today, which is wild.
Well, it's like 70 here, and we're going to the golf course tomorrow on Christmas Eve. My dad, my brother, my dad, my brother, and myself, we're going to the golf course. So my dad's on the golf course. He's been on the golf course every day this week. So that's what we're going to do. My mom's birthday is also Christmas Eve, so it's kind of we celebrate her too. But you got all your Christmas shopping done, all that?
Everything's all done. Let me ask you this question. Does your mom like the fact that her birthday's on Christmas Eve? Because does she get double the gifts, or do the gifts on Christmas count towards her birthday and it's just still the same? How does the gift quotient go for your mom?
Well, we've always made it like a separate deal, and we get her double. So, one birthday and Christmas. So we've always done that. Unless it was an extravagant, we just combined it, but it wasn't like it was one present. It was maybe a more expensive present. You know what I mean? So,
Good.
but for the most part, we always separated. And I think her parents always did a good job. I don't think she's ever minded it. So we've made it a little bit of a tradition where some of the things we do on Christmas Eve and celebrate her on Christmas Eve and all of that. So no, she doesn't mind it. She opened a flower shop this year. So she's actually going to be open, I think, maybe for a little bit on Christmas Eve and then close it early. But yeah, so while
she
she's
can't
doing
control
that,
when she's born. So it's like, but
Right.
it's one of those things. Like, how do you feel about what's the gift quotient like? So that's good to hear. You celebrate it separately. She gets all the love on her birthday. I love that.
You notice I'm in a different location today. I've got the piano, her piano right behind me. And so I might give you guys a couple tunes in the hour or two. If you'll stick around for that, I might, maybe surprise you with a little bit. I'm not guaranteeing any Mozart, but maybe I could play you a Christmas tune or two.
I can't wait. Look, you've promised, and I think you'll deliver. We've heard some snippets before we went live on the air. I think you're going to make a lot of people happy. It's going to have a Christmas flavor, but the piano in the background is a great backdrop. It's better, like we said yesterday. I'm going to be in my attic, and I did not lie. I am in my attic. The bed that I'm sleeping on is right there. I have my old childhood dresser behind me. I got some hats and things, and I got a printer next to me. So it's not as nice as what you have.
Well, we've got another big 2 hours coming up for you here tonight. Going to hear the final conversation for now, maybe another addition or two. Who knows? Do you think there's going to be another addition to the staff?
Yeah, well, defensive line probably.
I just didn't know if they might shuffle. If it might be shuffled around some of the guys that they already have.
I know they were going after heavy, a guy that just Elijah Robinson. We could say that he's going to go to Texas A&M. I know Coach Rule said in his press conference that that's going to be a post bowl game thing. You're right. They could eventually come to settle on, hey, let's shuffle guys around. This is the guy that's our D-line coach is already on staff. But I feel like they'll go out and because it's a significant hire, right? So I think it's a significant group that needs some work and some development. I think it's going to be post bowl game though.
Well, and I guess what's great about that too is that, Coach Orich has been able to get in here and get a feel and kind of know what maybe he is looking for specifically for that group and, be a part of that hire, which I think is big that Coach Rule kind of allowed for him to make some of those decisions. And so now he's going to be able to find if, at least be a part as he talked about. Coach Holgerson was a part of the Jeep Wade hire and all of that and the other hires on the offense that, he's going to allow Coach Orich to get involved. And so he's now been around seeing what's here and available. And then also what is in that room and what may be needed for that room to continue to develop and work for that defensive line room. So as of now, though, the 4 new assistants that are here and have been working with the team, not all of them will be coaching in Vegas. But we have our final one, at least prior to the bowl game coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll hear from Lonnie Teasley, who will be the run game coordinator, but working out with Jeep Wade. But I think that was a big get. Obviously, a guy that's familiar with Matt Rule, was on his staff at Temple, considers Matt Rule a mentor, and then also is really close and already had a relationship with Jeep Wade, and they think a lot alike. And I think that is just big to be able to have really 2 guys when you talk about that just crucial position that has to be good, has to be dominant for you to win football games. And so to have 2 guys that can work with the entire group, to the level of Jeep Wade and Lonnie Teasley, I think is going to be really massive for this football team.
Yeah, I think 2 guys that have had experience as offensive line coaches, of course, Jeep with, Georgia Tech and previous at other stops, and then Lonnie in the SEC at South Carolina. And the area where both of those guys are going to make a massive difference, that's going to be in recruiting. You could develop all you want, but you need to get the dudes in here that you think are going to be right for your system. And Jeep has a specific system and how he wants to work things. And like you said, relationship that he's had with Lonnie in the past, and Lonnie has a connection with Coach Rule. And I'm sure for a coach, he wants somebody in that room that he has a comfort that is going to help Jeep and really push that group forward. And it's a young area of this team. At least there's a lot of young talent on the offensive line that I look at that I think there's a lot of expectation for. We just haven't seen a whole lot because they haven't been here very long. I mean, Grant Bricks was a high-level recruit. Could he possibly see some time in this bowl game? Who knows? But from Logan, Iowa, there's a lot of praise from Grant coming out of high school. Preston Talmua, I know, is a guy that they're incredibly high on. Sam Sledge, another guy, Jason Machachok, Jake Peters, and then there's guys that aren't even on my Too Deep chart that I know they feel have a future here. And then you have two incredible recruiters in Jeep and Lonnie. When you can attack the transfer portal, I know Jeep is already out there, and there's been offers to. I know we were talking the other day at practice. I think they have an offer for a guy out in Pennsylvania, and he said, "Your neck of the woods out in the Northeast." So he's scanning all throughout the country, and you have two guys with really deep connections, and who knows? I mean, there's been a couple of guys just too that have gone into the transfer portal that are from South Carolina, right? So
I think more than a couple, right?
Yeah, and there's no coincidence. Maybe to that, to Lonnie leaving. And then we'll see what Jeep does as well. Two guys that are really good recruiters.
Going back to that young core that you just ran through, also Gunnar Gatula, who's coming off injury, who's seen significant time already, but is also part of that really talented young core that we probably don't consider being part of that group, but he came in with that group, was, called upon earlier. But there's another guy that's hopefully going to come back, be healthy off of injury, that will be able to contribute to that depth.
And Justin Evans too. How about the year that he had? We forget he transitioned positions. He went from guard to center, and talking to the coaches, you would think that it was an all Big Ten type of year. So credit to Justin Evans and what he did, and Elijah Pritchett. The way that he improved from being the third string tackle in fall camp to what he has now become, a proven commodity on this offensive line, I think is a massive step in his development. And left tackle, that's one of the most important positions, not just on your offensive line, but on your offense. And for him to step up, and we know it was a revolving door, specifically at those tackle positions early in the year, but he really solidified himself. And there was a lot of expectation on him. There's a certain dollar amount that come with some of these guys, including Elijah Pritchett. And I think he started to play to that dollar amount. And you're right. You get Gunnar Gatula back. You can't forget about him. You're going to get him back next year. So that's going to help that tackle room. And then Tyler Canuck. This is also a bowl game that helps his development as a redshirt junior. You're going to have a full off season with him. Does he have an opportunity to win one of those guard spots? But I think along with the development, you're probably going to want to go out, Jess, and maybe get one or two offensive linemen in the portal, maybe some proven guys, some all-conference guys, and they're going to carry a heavy dollar amount, right? But I think you want to at least bring in one, maybe two of those guys in the portal.
Look, again, the portal does not open officially till January 2nd, but we are seeing a lot of guys just making their announcements that they're going into the portal. A lot of that news, it's been constant, I feel like, for the last, 2 weeks now. And so, there still might be a couple more. We've seen, a few names from the Nebraska roster that have entered over the last couple of days. And there still might be a chance that, there are a couple more that come in, that enter after the bowl game, after they get a, sense for what it's going to look like moving forward, their potential, how they play in the bowl game, all that kind of stuff. So not saying it's by any means over, but I do think it speaks volumes that at this point there hasn't been an offensive lineman from Nebraska that has entered the portal, despite the position change there, and not saying anything against Coach Raiola, but just the fact that Coach Teasley, Coach Wade have been able to come in, plus not to mention just the overall culture that's already in place at Nebraska, that you don't have any of those names from that group that have announced their intention to go into the portal. I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, it does. It tells me that, and it's the first thing that I noticed when I talked to Jeep, and I've said this a bunch on our show, that he is a relationships-driven guy. And you had the chance to talk to Lonnie, and we'll have that conversation tonight on the show. But I would assume that Lonnie is very much the same way. Coach Rule wouldn't bring him in here if that wasn't the case. And I would imagine those first few meetings with Jeep and the offensive line group went pretty well. Now, that could change, right? That, like you said, transfer portal isn't going to open here until January 2nd. So we could have things that change once guys understand after the bowl game. Maybe my role isn't going to be all that different next year, and some of those guys start to scatter. But to remain intact for now, because we've seen a lot of smoke on Twitter of guys entering their name into the portal, and the fact you haven't had any of that from the offensive line room is really, really impressive.
Just, again, with that kind of position, a lot of times when there's some moves being made, you see the influx of guys that either want to find elsewhere or follow that guy. And so it just, to me, it I think speaks a lot of volumes to those two guys that are coming in, and then also to Matt Rowland, just what he has in place here at Nebraska, and guys wanting to continue to be a part of that. But I have a feeling, Kyle, this won't be the last time we talk about the transfer portal. No,
and we can get into it too, but the quarterback position, right? Marcos Davila, he's going to go into the portal. You're only going to have one scholarship guy in TJ that is going to be on your roster entering into next year. So now that alters the calculus a little bit, that you're probably going to need two quarterbacks out of the portal, one lower price guy that's going to be a backup that understands their role. And then, like I've said, you're probably not going to get the high priced Sam Levitts, DJ Lagways of the world, Brendan Sorsby's, but Aiden Childs has been a big name that I think there's a lot of interest around, whether that's interest that Coach Rule and Dana Holgerson actually have. But I know from reports that at least that's one name that's certainly been out there. Of course, the quarterback from Michigan State who played in Memorial Stadium this year.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get to a break. Coming up next, you're going to hear the conversation. I was able to sit down with Lonnie Teasley, have a conversation with him over the weekend. So we're going to bring that to you here tonight, and I'll let you get to know the new run game coordinator for Husker football. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick,
Slated, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's Holiday Pro Power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agents Reed Duvall, Natalie Kerr, or Mike Shefford in Lincoln today.
Redefine your luxury car buying experience with Genesis of Southwest Omaha. Receive 1.99% APR for 60 months or 2.99% APR for 72 months on the full lineup of 2026 Genesis GV80s. Visit us online today. With approved credit, tax title license extra, when financed with Genesis Finance, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires January 2nd, 2026. See dealer for details.
M Grills and Blazing Grill Works manufactures wood pellet and charcoal grills right here in Nebraska. M Grills Nebraska-made grills are fighting the battle against cheap disposable box store grills by focusing on quality and longevity. The all-American-made parts and heavy steel construction means you can cook reliably all year long, year after year. Support Nebraska manufacturing and get out of the disposable grill game with a high-performance grill from M Grills. You can find them online at mgrills.com. That's M as in Memorial, grills.com. Proud supporter of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at AppliedConnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's Holiday Pro Power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus zero down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Central Valley Ag is here to keep your animals healthy and thriving. Stop into the CVA Feed Store in West Point, Springview, Valentine, or Ainsworth with top brands like CVA Power, Purina, VitaFirm, and DuraFirm for cattle, pigs, horses, chickens, sheep, and even your dogs and cats. Enter by January 11th for a chance to win a $200 CVA gift card. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test.
Equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I am not in our Akrs Broadcast Center, as I am in Oklahoma for Christmas before we'll head back up and catch the team flight to go to Vegas. But Josh is in our Akrs Broadcast Center making this all work, so we appreciate him greatly. But we've been sharing with you the conversations that Kyle and myself have been able to have with the new football assistant coaches that Matt Rule has added to the staff here in the last month or so. We continue that series tonight with Lonnie Teasley, who's officially the run game coordinator, going to spend a lot of time with the offensive line, has worked with Coach Rule and his staff. Most recently was at South Carolina as the offensive line coach, but I had a chance to chat with him, get to know him a little bit and his approach to coaching football and joining Nebraska.
Hey again, Husker Nation. I'm Jessica Coody and excited to introduce you to another one of the new assistant coaches here added to the Nebraska football coaching staff, Lonnie Teasley, the run game coordinator, familiar with Coach Rule and Jeep Wade, but welcome to Lincoln. How has the first couple weeks or so been for you?
It's been great. Just getting to know the guys around here and I learned my way around Lincoln. It's been really good.
You're obviously familiar with Coach Rule, coach on his staff at Temple, but when the opportunity, the potential to maybe come here to Nebraska, how did that unfold and why was that of interest for you?
One, just Nebraska says it all. I've always, from a young age, looked up to Nebraska like it was football. And then Coach Rule's been here. He's been like a mentor to me over the years, and he had a position here, and we kind of see football the same way and how it should be done and how it should be played. So it's a no-brainer for me.
What is that way?
I know when I say that, I'm talking the play style, you know, just the violence you want to play with and discipline you want to play with. So
you're a longtime offensive lineman, played offensive line. So when you talk about Nebraska and the pipeline here, what was your perspective of how that dominance is played at Nebraska, you know, back in the 90s and along?
Yeah, so that's what I really think about Nebraska is the O-lines. And it was going back to when I grew up in New Jersey, And Will Shields used to do a camp out in New Jersey, and I remember going to that. And when I was, I think, in 9th grade, and I looked up to him as a player, and then that's why I went to the camp. And I just, like, now I'm here at the same school. He, was a member of Pipeline, and so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's very cool. So joining Jeep Wade as well is also new to the staff. What's your familiarity with him, and how well are you guys getting along?
I know Jeep over 10 years. We see football the same way as well. Me and him would talk in the off seasons in the past about football. We'd talk about recruiting, and so it's going to be really fun to get the chance to work with him now.
What is it about Coach Wade that he is so good at what he does coaching the offensive line?
One, he has standards of how you're going to play, and our play style, and then just getting, football can be complex, but he makes it simple for the guys.
When you guys go about trying to figure out how you attack it together, what does that look like? Is that something that conversation will continue to maybe unfold as you guys move into spring ball?
Yeah, I think it starts with Coach Rule and Coach Holgerson, and we'll continue to grow on that as it goes.
What's the importance to have really two guys that are able to work? We heard some of the offensive linemen talking about how nice it is to have so many voices kind of helping them. And when you have some young talent that you're trying to develop, what's the importance of having that? Yeah,
it's exactly what you said. Like when you got young offensive linemen, you need to make sure they're building that foundational base so they can have success and continue to grow and develop. And then you look at how the NFL does it. It's always two line guys in there, it's just you got 20 guys in the room. Like it's good to be able to always have guys who can put their hands on them, and in the off season, during the season, I think it just helps their overall development.
You've been right in the middle of practices. I've been to a couple and see you're right there in the middle of everything. You stayed after to get some extra work in with guys. What's been your perspective of how this program practices and their preparation so far?
Yeah, there were some physical practices, which I expected. I think the guys are really getting after it, and like a lot of times bowl games are. It's about who wants to be there. You can tell this team wants to be here and practice and get better. The guys want to work. They want to get extra work. They want to come meet extra. So that's been a pleasure.
What is your perspective on the O-line room as a whole and some of the potential talent in there?
I think we have a really good room. Even like the seniors are leaving, it's been good to get to know them. Wish I would have had a chance to be around them longer. But we got some really good, talented young guys, and I think those guys are their arrows pointed up.
Development is obviously very important for the offensive line. So what are the biggest factors in being good at developing that talent on the offensive line to get those guys to where you need them to be able to compete for championships? Yeah,
so I think it starts with like their knowledge, and that's like our offense and them learning defense. They have to have a good foundation there. They have to know who and how to block, understand how to block people with leverage. And then once that's kind of like the big foundation, then you build on that from there. And then I think the weight room plays a big part into it. These guys, 18-year-old guys playing against 24 sometimes, 24-year-olds, and so they have to develop that area. It's where what we're asking them they can go do. And that's a work ethic, so that's a part of it. And then they got to build their skill set. So they got to understand what we're asking in with the techniques. They got to come in and watch themselves do them, and then make those corrections. We make those corrections, go do it again, try it, fix it, go do it again. So I think that's what goes into it. And then obviously, them buying into the mindset of how we're going to play.
How about Coach Holgerson? How's it been getting to know him?
Good. He's just one, like seeing him, like I always watched him from afar, so it's like I'm seeing him on TV or something. Like now I see him in person.
When you talk about being the run game coordinator, what goes into being able to continue to run the ball very well, especially in the Big Ten?
Well, one, it always starts up front. We gotta be good up front. We gotta set the tone there. Just watching the games last year, they got really good backs. But it's really all 11. It's all 11 being on the same page. But it starts with the O-line, but it's the tight ends, the running backs, the receivers play a big part. The receivers block really well here. It's the quarterback and the alerts and everything. So it's the whole team, whole offense rather.
Recruiting, and Coach Rule has really bragged on you and how good you are on that front, and the best assistants are your best recruiters. When did you realize and recognize that needed to be a really important part of your job as an assistant football coach?
Yeah, I remember when I was at Temple, Coach Rule said if you can't recruit, you won't have a job. So it kind of stuck with me. And then, like, for me, it's relationships. So, like, it's when you build those relationships with the young men and those families and who are the people that are close to them, and then you just go from there. You know, I think it boils down to that. You know, it's like, you know, if their caregivers or whoever they're close to can trust that you're going to have their son's interests and take care of them and do what you said you're going to do, usually they will hand their son over to you to be their role model, mentor for those 4 or 5 years you have them. I think it's being relatable, someone that the guys trust you, they can confide in you. They don't have to be, I always call it, don't yes coach me. Like, some guys just always uptight, yes coach, yes coach, yes coach. But like, just being like, let's have real conversations, like, you know, like being open. So, you know, that's some of the things. It's just regular relationships and being authentic. I think it's helped me, and then just the evaluation piece, knowing what we want here, and going to find that.
What are some of those traits and characteristics you look for in young offensive linemen?
You always want hungry offensive linemen. You want guys who are eager to be great, who love football. You want them to have a certain temperament on the field. And then from there it goes to what I think of like the genetics. You know, how big are they? How much do they weigh? How much weight can they put on? Their play strength, and then overall athleticism.
What led you to want to get into this profession in the first place?
I was wrapping up, finishing playing. I knew I wasn't playing at the next level, and I knew I wanted to stay in football. I just didn't know in what aspect. And I had some coaches who I looked up to, who helped me along the way. And I called some of them, and one of them was on staff. 2 of them were on staff, and they said, you'll make a great coach. So I just trusted them, and they can help me get my foot in the door. And I wanted to help young men the way people have helped me along my journey. And so that's what led me into it.
I noticed you have in particular coach that really inspired you in high school, right? Mm-hmm. On your Twitter, on your X.
Oh, yes.
You have a pinned tweet that was an ode to him, right?
Yes. So that was my O-line coach, Nelson Hayspell. I always say I had 2 dads. I was blessed to have 2 dads. He was like my second dad. And my dad was pretty stern, and he was very stern too. And so he was a blessing to me. Like, I still remember when he told me, I was just playing football for fun. I thought I was going to go to military or something, and he said, no, you're going to get a scholarship. And him believing in me made me believe I could do it. And so I want to help young men like that, and the way he helped me.
No, that's great. Who are some of your other coaching mentors?
I got a few. This guy, Nick Calcutta, he was one of my O-line coaches, OCs. Keith Gaither, he's a running back coach at Virginia. Kevin Downing, he's at Virginia as well. They coached me. That's too many to name. I don't want to leave anybody off. Somebody's mad at me, man. I got a lot of people I call on, but
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
When you'd spent some time with Coach Rule, which he had the turnaround at Temple, he did it at Baylor. It just has proven that it works. Mm-hmm. What is it about his process that it works?
I think he sets the standards and he doesn't change them. And he, demands we're going to do things a certain way. And I think that's huge. That he doesn't waver. And he knows there's a process to it. I think he's great at setting a vision of what's going to happen and going to work for it. The guys that when I was around them, they love playing for them. They like being around them. You want guys who want to be here and come to work every day. And I think he's a great coach too, as far as the X's and O's part. But I think him just setting the standards and what we're going to be about here, and then just placing his vision on that.
He's coaching the D-line right now throughout both practices. Have you guys been going head-to-head?
Yeah, he talked a little trash, but at least the O-line had my back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're a girl dad, 3 daughters who are just so happen to be into volleyball. You're coming to a good spot for that.
Yeah, they're really excited about that. They got a chance to catch a couple games once they found out I was coming here, so they're really excited.
Oh, fantastic. What does the next month or so, I guess, look like for you to get here and get acclimated? Obviously, transfer portal will open, recruiting, right? You said it never stops. What is the next process look like for you?
I'll go home for a little bit for Christmas and see the family, and then I'll be back up here January 2nd. The family will be getting ready to move and pack up and do all that stuff, and they'll be out here sometime this spring. But the next month is hanging with them for a little bit, and then getting ready to roll come portal time.
Well, great stuff. Again, welcome to Lincoln. We're excited to have you, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Kyle, a lot of the similar messaging there from Lonnie Teasley that I feel like we've heard from all of these guys, but just about the similar mindset and approach to how they want to play football and with violence and discipline. And gotta love that. I also love the story he told. He grew up as an offensive lineman looking up to Nebraska offensive lines and actually went to a camp. Will Shields held a camp out in his hometown, and he was able to go to a camp there. But he certainly has a big time understanding of the pipeline, the history, the tradition here, and just the absolute necessity to play good offensive line to get to where this program wants to get back to.
Yeah, it's a pretty good name, Will Shields. I mean, that's one of
Oklahoman, by the way.
That's right. We got to throw that in there. I think both coaches, Lonnie and Jeep, both have sort of that understanding of what that pipeline means. I think if you grow up in football and you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, I mean, those 90s Nebraska teams, if you're into football, I mean, that's probably where a lot of your interests would lie, because they've such the national attention and what they were able to do under Coach Osborne, especially in the trenches. So I think it's cool. Is it absolutely necessary to have that knowledge of the history of it before you come here to Nebraska? No, but is it cool to have two guys that understand the history of what this program has been built on and what fans hunger more for? Is that violence, that aggression in the trenches? I know we'll see more you hope to see more of that on the defensive side, especially on the defensive line, but offensively, some of the great names that we've seen come through here on the offensive line, hopefully there's a future Outland winner in this group that Jeep and Lonnie can coach up.
I think more so I point towards, it's cool that they, obviously were familiar and had that kind of admiration of what was done here on the offensive lines. But I think more so just knowing the kind of violence and like you said, that discipline and violence that you have to play to be able to dominate up front, which is ultimately what's going to lead to winning a lot of football games.
Yeah, it will. And this is a league that you want to be able to run the ball, especially in October and November, especially in Memorial Stadium when the winds tend to swirl and, you get that really strong wind. You have to be able to control the time of possession. You have to be able to put your quarterback in situations to be successful. And we saw, a little bit, especially in the Penn State game, a lot of 3rd and longs for TJ Lateef. For a young quarterback, it's really hard to put him in those situations where the defense knows that you're going to be throwing the ball downfield and you're a younger guy and haven't been a part of a whole lot of situations at the college level. You have to be able to control the line of scrimmage, and we'll see. It all starts here in this bowl game, and then you get after it and have more conventional spring game. We'll see what the team looks like, and maybe that identity, that toughness identity, is something we'll be able to identify in the spring that say, hey, this group's a little bit different.
Oh, good stuff there. Appreciate Lonnie Teasley sitting down and chatting with us again as he helps try to take over and take over the run game coordinator position, but also help continue to build and develop this Nebraska offensive line. All right, going to get to a break. More Sports Nightly coming up right after this.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board. Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
M Grills and Blazing Grill Works manufactures wood pellet and charcoal grills right here in Nebraska. M Grills Nebraska-made grills are fighting the battle against cheap disposable box store grills by focusing on quality and longevity. The all-American made parts and heavy steel construction means you can cook reliably all year long, year after year. Support Nebraska manufacturing and get out of the disposable grill game with a high-performance grill from M Grills. You can find them online at mgrills.com. That's M as in Memorial, grills.com. Proud supporter of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board. Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Kyle, one of the other things I wanted to mention and go back to in the conversation with Coach Teasley, he had mentioned, he's a girl dad. And we were actually chatting before the interview, and then he brought it up a little bit there in the interview. But he's got 3 daughters that are big time, have just gotten into volleyball, and we're so excited to be able to come to Nebraska. They watched Nebraska in the postseason, and just so, again, really cool to have that tie and that connection. But I've gone to 2 places here in Oklahoma that it got brought up about Nebraska and, do you get to work with the volleyball team? So, to your point, you've brought this up a couple different times about how global this team and obviously, and then one of the person was asking me about Harper Murray, and you had mentioned kind of getting the grasp and the understanding of this is a global superstar, or definitely a nationwide sports superstar beyond just college volleyball, beyond just Nebraska. But I just, it's a big deal, and it certainly is when you see it firsthand in Nebraska. But then we start going outside of that, and you're kind of seeing and understanding and learning all these people that are just completely in awe of Nebraska volleyball that are outside of Nebraska. It's pretty cool.
I was at the gym the other day, and one of the few times I've ever been recognized, it was because of the interviews I did with John Baylor for volleyball, right? Of all the stuff that I do with football and Sports Nightly and all that. You were at volleyball last weekend. That's where I know your face. So that was interesting. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Volleyball is a really, really big thing. And so that was cool. But to see, we're in the bubble of it, right? So we kind of eat, sleep, breathe it every single day. So you don't understand the impact. And I think that's something I brought up with Troy when we had him in studio last week, is I think there's even a bigger burden for Nebraska in the sport of women's college volleyball because they carry so much national attention, whether it's the ratings and everything like that. All the marquee events are going to be probably centered around Nebraska. Look at the start of the season, the AVCA showcase at Pinnacle Bank Arena. There's 15,000 people there, and your first 3 or 4 matches are on network television. There's not a lot of programs that can line up at the top of the marquee the way Nebraska volleyball does. And I think there's a little bit on their shoulders when it comes to that, which I think is really cool.
Did you see the sign of the fan? I think it was the national championships, and holding up a sign that said, "I only got the seat because Nebraska isn't playing here."
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, which is probably true.
All right, we got to get to a break. Final few minutes left here of hour number 1 coming up next.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick,
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back. Final couple minutes left here in Sports Nightly. Got a whole nother hour coming up next. But Kyle, so Phillip Rivers is the quarterback for your team. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny. They were playing last night, and my dad was trying to explain to my mom the whole situation. She was like, he said, Sherry, this guy that's about to play tonight is 44 years old. My mom was like, what? Could not believe it. But he played pretty well.
Oh,
yeah, he played well.
He played really, really well. 44 years young. And the way he was slinging the rock took him right down the field on the first drive, converted some third downs. The defense was the problem is the Colts defense has been pretty good all year. I mean, they could not stop me running a route last night. So I was watching it on my phone in the airport, in the plane. I bought the Wi-Fi from United to watch. I paid $10 to be able to watch the game, watching my Uber back. And it was that's essentially it. That's the nail in the coffin of the season. After a 7-1 start, yes, they had a 98% probability to make the playoffs. And that 2% reared its ugly head.
Yeah. You were already buying your tickets to the Super Bowl after those first few weeks.
I did.
I'm sorry.
And to say I'm the kiss of death would be an understatement. Understatement of the year.
At least it was fun for a little bit for you.
It was fun for a while, and then a quarterback popped his Achilles, and then everything went downhill. So, oh well, next year. There's next year, I guess.
Next year. Wonder if you'll continue to make the Colts your weekly winner.
Well, this week, Phillip Rivers is my weekly winner. So
I guess
it would stay with the Colts. I mean, it's got to be, right? 44 years old. I don't care if you lose. You scored 27 points, and it was on his back. Jonathan Taylor did nothing last night. Amazing.
Oh, all right. Coming up next hour, we're going to hear from Berke Buğay coming off a triple-double the last time out for Husker men's basketball. He has a huge personality. He is fantastic. So going to bring you a portion of that conversation up next, plus maybe a little Christmas music. We'll see. Keep it here on Sports Nightly. We've got a whole nother hour coming up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Good evening, Husker Nation. I'm David Sotek, reporting from our studio, and the Sports Sticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. First, 5 Nebraska football seniors have earned 2025 team awards. Defensive backs Deshaun Singleton and Sierra Wright were chosen as the co-winners of the Guy Chamberlain Trophy. Linebacker Javen Wright has earned the Tom Novak Award. Tight end Heinrich Harburg earned the Cletus Fisher Native Son Award. And defensive back Derek Branch was selected for the Cornhusker Award. All 5 will receive their awards at the Outland Trophy Banquet in Omaha on January 21st. Next, heading into men's basketball news, Braden Frager has earned another award this season as he was named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week. The Lincoln Southwest grad scored 17 points and grabbed 4 rebounds in Nebraska's 78-55 win over North Dakota on Sunday. And speaking of men's basketball, sports analyst John Rothstein announced on his live show that if the men's team reaches the NCAA tournament and wins a tournament game for the first time in school history, he will fly out to Lincoln and throw a happy hour here in the capital city. The Sports Ticker was brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Rebound, Berke brings it up. Boy, he's impressive bringing the ball up before, spins away from 2 defenders in the paint, behind the back pass, layup up and good by Sam! Oh, what a highlight reel exchange that was down the floor. 71-51, Nebraska by 20. Here's Berke, 3-ball on the way, got it! Triple-double! Berke Buğay, the terrific Turk.
Still dribbling his sprints with 4, with 3 down the left lane liner, driving layup on the rim and missing. Bojan the rebound, back up at the buzzer, it goes in, and it counts. Petra Bojan at the buzzer gives Nebraska the lead.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Our final hour, we will be off the air coming up tomorrow, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day. We'll be back on Friday with a full 2 hours. Nick Hanley going to help us out. I'll be in Vegas. Kyle's going to meet us there on Saturday. So Nick's going to step in. We are going to make some picks, but you're not going to be a part of it to be able to brag on your so far good start, although we do have a few games left. But
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. First of all, I'm going to do my own shows with St. Nick. Once St. Nick comes in, we're going to have a little show, me and the reindeer, Donner, Cupid, Blitzen.
Not like St. Nick Claus, not St. Nick Hanley.
Yeah, you know what? Is Nick sainted? We'll St. Nick Hanley. I like that. I'm going to do a show with Chris Kringle to avoid any confusion. Chris Kringle. And the reindeer, and so I'm going to do my own thing. So it's very sad we're off the air the next 2 days, but good stuff. And the fact that you're kicking me off the picks, after I just outstanding, you kick me off the picks because you don't let me gloat. Only Jess can gloat. I get it.
It was strategic by Josh and me to figure that out. No,
lost yesterday though.
In all
Utah
reality,
State. Sorry.
I know we both did. With the way that the game is in the middle of the New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day playoffs, we just didn't have another time that we were going to be able to get in the picks, and you just happened to be off that night, so we just had to make it work. So, Big Dog's going to miss out too. So he's 2 weeks I feel
in
like
a row.
2 weeks in a row is definitely maybe worthy of a conversation of losing a point or two.
I think 2. It's up to Josh. Josh is the commissioner. He wears the crown. He is beating everybody to a pulp this year, so Josh can make all the decisions.
Well, we'll have to circle back with him. But again, Berke Buğay coming up here in just a few minutes. He's coming off the triple-double, the 4th in program history, all 4 under Fred Hoiberg, but 2nd this season with Rink Mast, and he has got a huge personality. He is the jokester of the locker room, so going to get a chance to bring you a little bit of that here coming up in just a few minutes. Did want to go back again because we got a text from Aiden, who is 14 years old, and he had texted in wondering what we should expect from the transfer portal wise from Nebraska football. And I think that's what we all want to know. And we'll figure out again, January 2nd, officially it opens. We're seeing a few names from Nebraska football go into the portal over the last couple of days. I expect we'll continue to see maybe a couple more. We had Roger Grady, Tristan Alvano, Maverick Noonan. We talked about him yesterday, the legacy. He's still going to play in the bowl game. And Marco Stavila, the quarterback that transferred from Purdue. But I think probably the big name that people in Nebraska certainly familiar with, Tristan Albano, who West Side kid, was an absolute superstar in their state championship in the title game and started as a freshman. But, Kyle Cunanan came in last year, did such a solid job with 16 of 19 for field goal, hit all 43 extra points. And so Tristan just, didn't really get a chance to get out there on the field. And so probably looking for a place where he can earn more opportunity.
Yeah. And, good for Tristan going out there and get the opportunity to get a chance and kick somewhere and show off your talents for possibly the next level. But if you go back to, the summer, it was a true competition between those three guys, John Hull, Kyle Cunanan, and Tristan Alvano. And John, of course, has taken over the kickoff duties this year, and Cunanan's done a really solid job on field goals. So sometimes in these competitions, there's an odd man out, but it doesn't mean that his career's got to end here. And he's done a lot of good things here for Nebraska. And this is the good part, Jess, about the transfer portal, when there's clearly not a path to you having a role that you can go out there and carve one out for yourself.
Well, we've heard it since he got here. Coach Rule's about transparency, and he has these conversations with these players as, the season unfolds. What does my role look like? Hey, he's been open and honest, I think, in terms of sometimes there might be a guy that, hey, I think you might need to look elsewhere, and encouraging guys to see if there's, an opportunity that might suit them better. And so, I think for some of these guys that we'll see go into the portal, it's probably more of a mutual type, because you also have to think about, your roster. While there's not a certain number right now, and they're not going to restrict it to that point, but you still have to think about all the rev share and the NIL and all of that, and how you're going to construct a roster and getting players in that, fit what your needs are. And so it's just, I think, going to be one of those conversations that continue. It's going to happen every year, where the portal is going to, as the popular saying goes now, is the portal giveth and the portal taketh away. But I think for the most part, the guys that we've seen the names go in outside of Dylan Raiola, for the most part, a lot of these guys probably just seeking a better opportunity, a better fit in order to achieve more playing time.
Yeah. And I think we'll see more after the bowl game, would be my guess. Once you have another game sort of finishing out the season strong for all these guys, I would expect more guys on both sides of the ball to hit the portal. And who knows if there's the grass isn't always greener. Maybe they have a landing spot back here at Nebraska. I know Coach Rule has said to me publicly on radio that there's guys that have transferred out of Nebraska that have reached out to him, this off season, or I shouldn't say off season, because there's still one more game left, about coming back. Right. So the grass isn't always greener when you decide to leave, but like a case where a Tristan Albano, I think there's similar cases too. In on the defense and on the offense, that guys just don't necessarily have a role, and Coach Rule and this staff is going to do whatever it can to put these guys in the best case scenario moving forward, wherever that next landing spot may be.
All right. So again, this is something that we've kind of addressed a little bit, but being that we've heard and you asked both Troy Dana and Matt Rule about where Nebraska can stack up and the resources that are available for them to be able to go and get some of the best guys in the portal. So if, again, unlimited resources, let's just say, and you can have, there's whatever option, what would be your plan of attack if you were the GM, if you were Pat Stewart? I think for me personally, number one on my list would be an elite defensive lineman, defensive tackle, edge type of guy that can be disruptive on the front. I think for me, if I had no option, no restrictions, that would be number one on my list.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start. And I think Roy Manning's going to help in that search. Rob Orch is going to know. And that's the good part about getting these guys in now, right? Is you can evaluate what you have. And it's a jack linebacker room that that stand-up edge rusher that's going to lose Deshaun McCullough to the National Football League, that's going to lose a developmental piece in Maverick Noonan to the portal. You hope that Dylan Rogers showed a lot this year too, but is he a premier pass rusher at this point in time? Probably not. Willis McGahee, you hope, turns into that. But I think that's probably number one. Somebody who is a game changer off the edge defensively. Those guys are not cheap, but like you said, and like Troy and Coach Rule have said, that they could go out and they can compete near the top of the market. I think that is number one. I think probably interior offensive lineman for me is two. Somebody who might be high priced. I mean, you went out and got Rocco Spindler. The thing is that I think they won the transfer portal for the most part last year, right? That's what's the strange thing, right? You had Elijah Pritchett, who I think turns out that he was a win. Rocco Spindler was a win. Andrew Marshall was a win.
There's a lot. Isaiah Hunter.
Isaiah Hunter was definitely a win. I think probably wanted a little bit more out of Dane for what
right.
you're bringing him in to be the number one, right? I think Isaiah Hunter definitely was a win. So for the most part, if I were to tell you that you won most of the guys you brought in from the transfer portal, Emmett Johnson had the best year in Nebraska history in 11 years as a running back, that you would probably say probably 9-3. 8-4 at the very least. So that's what makes it a little bit more frustrating. And that's where you go back to, okay, so what were the issues? You have to be a little bit stronger at the line of scrimmage. So number 3 for me would be an interior defensive lineman. Notice how quarterback slowly dipping for me a little bit on that list, because I truly believe TJ Lateef could be the guy.
Yeah.
I think you can get the guy from Harvard, Old Dominion, a place like that has not necessarily a dual threat quarterback, but somebody who's capable, has a legit pocket presence that can maneuver around the pocket, that if TJ were to get hurt, as somebody who can run, maybe takes a hit, you hope that's not the case. Again, he's injured coming into this bowl game. You're going to need a legit backup, whether it's Jaden Craig from Harvard, Colton Joseph from Old Dominion. Those are just a few names. I think Aiden Childs is probably going to be too expensive for maybe what you're looking for. I think Aiden Childs is going to want to come in here and with the guarantee that he's a starter.
Yeah.
I don't know that for a fact, but he was a starter at Oregon State. He was a starter at Michigan State. My thought is that he's not going anywhere where he's not the starter, that he has to compete to be the starter.
Right. And I think that's probably the risk you take when you start getting some of those top guys in the portal. They're going to want the expectation that the job is theirs and not necessarily wanting to compete for it. And then in addition to having to pay high price dollar for those guys. All right, let me turn the script on you then. If going into this season, where do you feel the most confident in the positions that Nebraska already has now? And again, very well could see some changes if some guys decide to go to the portal. But at this point where we stand today, which position do you feel the most confident that, hey, we might not need to go out and really be aggressive for a guy in the portal unless, you get a fortunate maybe guy fall to you. But, hey, we feel pretty solid in this spot going into it.
I'd probably say the secondary, and that's not with 100% confidence. I think there's a lot of different areas. Defensive line, definitely. Linebacker, definitely. I mean, you're losing Watson Trent. You're losing Javen Wright. You definitely need an edge rusher. Offensive line, you're losing a couple guys. You're going to need an interior offensive lineman as I work through the list. Wide receiver, you're going to lose Dane Key. You probably want another playmaker. Running back, you're losing one of the best in program history. Quarterback is in the transfer portal. I know it sounds like gloom and doom the way that I'm putting it, but they'll do a good enough job in development and transfer portal to shore up some of the hesitancy that I have maybe in the 2026 roster. It's far from, it hasn't even started yet in terms of building that roster. But if I had to put one position to that, Jess, probably secondary, right? You have a redshirt sophomore next year in Donovan Jones. Andrew Marshall is going to be in his senior year. So you have your two corners set, where at most positions you don't really have a whole lot set. And you have Amari Sanders and Jeremiah Charles that I think are going to play a bigger role next year. Safeties probably is a somewhat of a concern, right? Because you're going to lose Deshaun Singleton. Guthrie had his ups and downs this year. You're going to lose Marquise Buford. Do you have a Caleb Benning step up next year and become that guy as a starter in that room? But the most confidence I think I have is probably in the cornerback room, if I really had to be specific about it, not just the secondary as a whole, but I would say the corners.
I'll give you another one that I feel pretty confident about, and that's the tight end room. Because you got Luke Lindenmeyer coming back. You got Carter Nelson, who they've raved on. I can't wait to see how he develops coming out through these bowl practices. You've got, hopefully Mark McAvoy comes back healthy, and they love Luke Sorensen. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a guy that's already that's going through practices with the bowl, and is going to work tirelessly in the weight room, and they are very, very excited about him. I think you got a couple of the other guys that you saw come in special situations. You get Janiron Bonner back. I know he's not technically a tight end, but he kind of plays a little bit of the role of a tight end. So to me, I feel like that's a spot that I feel pretty good about moving forward without feeling like, we have to add a piece in that room.
Yeah, I think there's two other guys too in that room, Eric Ingerson and Danny King. I think they are really, really high on. They're younger, so they're not going to be on the depth chart, on a game day depth chart. But I think those are two guys that they truly expect to be a part of the equation. Can Carter Nelson play a bigger role next year? Can he play a bigger role in this bowl game? They lined him up, flexed out a lot in the slot, not necessarily as a true inline tight end like Heinrich and Luke. Now you're going to lose Heinrich this year, but I would love to see what kind of Luke obviously took a massive step forward this year, right? But it sort of fell off. The tight ends fell off towards the end of the year for whatever reason that may be. One of them is you lost your quarterback in Dylan Raiola. So that can change the equation. But I think Luke is primed. One, he had a great year. I think he's primed to have another great year. Carter Nelson had the offseason hip surgery that slowed his development this year. And then you have, like you mentioned, Luke Sorensen, Danny King, Eric Ingerson, a lot of guys on the back end of that tight end room that we really haven't seen any of.
All right. I just thought that, again, some of the questions we continue to get and the conversations, it's fun to speculate, but we'll see. And again, it's only going to get even wilder and the conversations even more crazy as it officially opens. And then we can really start talking about the guys that might be coming on campus and as people continue to make their commitments. But all right, we got to get to a break here. Hour number 2 is Sports Nightly. Coming up next, we'll talk some hoops with Berke Buğay coming off a triple-double. And the Huskers win over North Dakota. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Here at Boot Barn, our objective is to build the perfect boot. We do take our time ensuring that every step is done correctly. For a boot to last you for a lifetime, you've got to properly build the boots. Hand craftsmanship is, in my opinion, the only way you're going to achieve that. We handcraft our boots. 160 people take a boot from start to finish. We have skilled artisans at every stage of the game. We've been handcrafting boots since the beginning here at Boot Barn, and we'll continue to do so.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the end of the year at Woodhouse Ford, and that means it's the perfect time to unwrap incredible savings across the entire Ford lineup. Whether you're searching for a tough, ready-for-anything truck or an SUV built to take your family into the new year with confidence, Woodhouse Ford has the right fit for every lifestyle. Browse our full selection, explore year-end specials, and start your next chapter behind the wheel of a new Ford. Visit us online or stop by one of our 3 convenient Woodhouse Ford locations today.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick,
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power on board.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Got a treat for you here tonight on this Christmas Eve. So we're going to hear from Berke Buğay. I guess I should say an early Christmas present, because he is an absolute delight, full of joy, a lot of fun. We hear he's the biggest personality in the locker room. He goes into the locker room at halftime singing the fight song, but he is absolutely hilarious. And I had a chance, actually it was my first ever interview with Berke, and had a chance to chat with him, get to know him, his story, his background a little bit more. Wanted to play you a portion of that conversation here tonight, coming off his first career triple-double. Well, what a start for this team. What do you think has gone into the way that this basketball team's been able to play here out of the gate?
So we are 8-0 right now, and we're feeling good. We expect it to be like this because we knew that we were a great team, and we know that we want to be in the NCAA tournament this year. So it was a great start for us. I hope it's going to go on like that.
So, you obviously played a big role last year. Going into this year, your second year with Nebraska, what were some of the things you knew that you were going to improve on and try to be better for going into this year?
So, to be honest, I knew this, like the defensive system and the offensive system. Last year, I was not really on the same page with everything, but right now, I feel like I'm in the right shape to be there. And like I said before, I was new, and it was kind of a new experience for me. So I was a little bit arrogant. And right now I'm feeling better with everything. Like I'm more years with the coaches and the other stuff. And the other part is my body. It's changed significantly, like from last year to this year.
That Kurt, is that being in the weight room with Kurt Joseph?
Yeah.
he get a hold of you?
Yeah, I just go back home for 1 month. Then when I get back, nutrition Jake, Kurt, they all were with me in this process. Like every day they were getting my weight in and saying like, okay, you need to cut it and you need to eat this and we need to condition like this, we need to run like this, you need to eat this at night, breakfast, like everything, they were involved. So I need to say thank you to them.
So you can feel the difference though this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like imagine playing with 20 pounds like belts or other thing, weight on you. And when you take it off, it just feels more fluent.
Yeah. What about playing with Rink Mass? Your first year getting to play with him. He opens up a lot of things for you guys, right?
Oh yeah. Like last year's team, I was playing the 5 and the 4. And because of I didn't knew the offensive system that much, I didn't understand lots of stuff. But this year, him at the 5, and I'm coming back up because we have injuries. Like it's just playing with the point guard in the center.
You know, just the way that Coach Hoiberg likes for the big guys, the centers, the forwards to do everything. We've seen you bring the ball up. What in your game has allowed for you to be able to fit that? I mean, was that something you've always done growing up where you've done everything on the basketball court?
So when I was young, I was not really like a big guy. It was like forwards to power forwards. I never played 5-man except my UCLA time and Nebraska time because they forcefully, I needed to play last year because of the injuries and the other stuff. And this year I just get in the role because I can get the rebound and push through the ball. So.
And Coach Hoiberg has talked about that, and they missed you against Winthrop. How much pride do you take in being that guy that is the force inside to help with the rebounding and to be that guy that can secure a lot of the boards for this team?
Like everybody has a job to do in the team, so it was my job to get the rebounds. It is my job to get the rebounds, and I'm going to keep doing that.
What about just, Coach Hoiberg likes for you guys to step out and shoot. He gives you that freedom. How much do you enjoy that? And what does that do for you, knowing that there's a lot of confidence in you to be able to step out and hit some of those outside shots?
Oh, yeah. Like right now, my average is too low, but he encouraged me every day with the shots. Like he's shooting with me every day. With that, I need to be grateful for him. And he used to be a great shooter. Not used to be, but he's a great shooter still. But like he encouraged me, trained with me, tell me my mistakes and everything. So I'm really grateful about that. And the other stuff, like the freedom stuff, like if we are free, if we don't even know what we are doing in that part, how can defense know? So it is kind of working right now. So it's nice.
Yeah. What does that do confidence-wise to have a coach that, hey, keep shooting, we believe in you?
It feels great.
Yeah.
Like you don't have any pressure to make the shot, or like if you miss it, I'm gonna get you out, or if you miss it, you're not gonna shoot again. Like it never. Even last year, it was not like that. So it just gives you more confidence to play well and listen more.
Okay, so how did you get into basketball? Where did basketball start for you?
I was 7. My uncle from my mom's side, he was a soldier, and in the same time he was playing basketball with the soldiers. And I just didn't even solve him. He asked me to play with him, and he teach me how to do stuff and other stuff. Then when I was like 8, the school team started, and I was the youngest, but I was the tall one. So I was playing with the older guys every time. Then it's continued like that. So now we are here.
So when did you realize, and I guess think about potentially playing college in the United States? Where did that kind of start where you wanted to maybe do that?
So I was playing pro when I started pro when I was 16 or 15. And I had some 3 years of pro career. Then I wanted to go to college education because I wanted to have my plan B. But in where I came from, it's just not really possible to have both in the same line, because the university that I first go in, it was 5-6 hours from my house, and I have practice every day. I need to go to class, so I couldn't make it. I couldn't arrange it. So UCLA offered, said yo, what you think? And I said, all right, let's try it. And first year there, then transfer portal. Then I didn't, to be honest, I'm sorry about this, but I didn't even know where was Nebraska in that time. They asked me you want to talk? I was like, I don't even know where's that at. I didn't even know Big Ten Conference or other thing, because I was not really watching college basketball in my first year. Then I come here, they showed me around. I loved it. Yeah, it was like this.
I was going to ask you about that. Not surprising. I don't think a lot of people are familiar, especially if you're not from the United States. But what is it about Nebraska that you've loved it so much? Because you do seem to really love it here.
So, we are the only one, how can I say, the city's fans only wants Nebraska athletics. There's no pro team, there's no other anything, just Nebraska athletics. So it is kind of nice that all the fans are coming to the games, and it's just so fun to have fans involved into games and other stuff. So I kind of like it. The most effective thing that was my choosement was that. Then, to be honest, that is the second one. First was the coaching groups and the other stuff. Second, the fans, and third was the team and the conference.
Yeah.
So I just decided my choosing from here, and lucky that I did.
That's awesome. Well, there's a video that came out on social media recently that you were not very good at naming NFL teams, which that's okay.
They set me up.
They set you up?
Yeah.
What have you learned about football? How much do you like going to the football games here now?
Okay. I know some college teams. I know, of course, our team.
Uh-huh.
Soccer, my bad. Football teams, I'm not really good at it. After that video, I learned some, but still, I have some slumps.
But do you enjoy going to football games now?
Especially the blackout game, it was awesome. I bought the black jersey, and I wrote some stuff on top of it. I cannot say the words that I wrote, but it was so fun.
So safe to say you've become a football fan.
Yeah.
And then you also like the other football, soccer, what we call it here.
Yeah, real football is the soccer one.
You're a big fan, though. You like to watch. You were, in fact, before this interview, you were locked in.
My team is playing right now.
Yeah.
I grew up with that. Mm-hmm. It is my first love, playing the soccer. Then I came here. The soccer is maybe the fifth best sport in here. So it's involved into let's watch football, American football then. Yeah, right now I'm just a Rams fan.
You played soccer though growing up.
Yeah. It was not a professional basketball or other stuff. It was just in the streets, or my friends called me 11 p.m. let's go to play soccer. It was that kind of.
Do you feel like maybe growing up playing soccer helped with your footwork?
Oh, no.
No, it didn't? It didn't?
I don't believe so.
No, okay. Some people say it does, Okay, so going back to that funny video, you didn't know very many NFL teams. What can you say? You said you were set up. How do you defend yourself?
They just caught me off guard with lots of confusing teams. They added some baseball teams, and they added the same Georgetown and the Georgia's one was the same. Green Bay Packers, and which college team has the same logo? Yeah, so I was like, I thought it's going to be a college teams, but it was not. So they set me up with lots of them.
But you learned after that.
Kind of.
How about Rink being able to name all of them?
He's American. He's not even European anymore. He is just half European, half American, mostly American, like 65%.
You, if fans don't know this yet, you have a huge personality. You're a lot of fun. You make the guys laugh a lot. You're a lot of fun to be around, have a fun personality. Where does that come from? Why are you wired that way where you want to make sure you're enjoying yourself too?
I don't know. I just talk. Even my accent are making people kind of laugh. Even you right now.
I know you do.
But I'm always smiling, and like it happened maybe like last week. I don't know. I don't remember who was it. Like I was just like not laughing in the weight room or the practice, and just like locked in. And they said, like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm okay." Like I'm just not laughing at that point. Like I'm okay, and I'm just always smiling everywhere. Like even when I'm locked in, I smile or the other stuff. So
you just love life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can say that.
All right. Well, I guess moving forward now for this season, what are some of the things that you want to continue to do to be able to grow and improve and help this basketball team?
Rebounds. I hope my 3-point percentage is going to go up. I'm believing it. I'm hoping it. And defense, to be honest, like because without the defense, we cannot get the cup. We cannot get the cup. It's going to be a disappointing season. So we need our defense to be more tight with everything and with the system. So the first priority is defensive rebounds, then defensive position and the other stuff. Then the offense is coming there.
Awesome. Well, great stuff. Thank you for being here. It was awesome chatting with you. Let's not make this be the last, the first and the last. You can come back anytime.
Know about that.
Again, Berke Buyuktuncel, and had a heck of a game, triple-double. And I said it yesterday, Kyle, but my favorite part of all of that, well, the crowd obviously knowing what was on the line when he took that three, but to see the way Rink Mast reacted was absolutely, huge smile. It was awesome to see how they were celebrating Berke. But you asked Coach the other day who has the biggest personality. He, without even hesitation, he didn't even let you finish asking the question before he said it's Berke.
Yeah, he's the class clown. He had the interview after the game too, and I don't know if like Seamus, who's the great SID for men's basketball, ever knows what's going to come out of Berke's mouth in an interview. So. But no, it's cool to have those personalities. You need a good mix, right? You need guys that are quiet, sort of those silent types that go out and play their role, and then also a guy that keeps it loose. I think the team dynamic is an interesting one with this Nebraska men's basketball team. It's an older team with guys that know their role. They know what they do well. And you have a coach that puts guys in the best opportunity to win games. And Berke, he was struggling with his shot early on, right? He was struggling from distance, and he's starting to get into a little bit more of an offensive groove. And, you know, whatever this season turns out to be, and hopefully it's a successful one where this team's in the Sweet 16. And for me, the lasting image of this season, no matter how it ends in what is a program, one of the program's best starts, the best start in program history, is the bloody mouth of Berke leaving the game against Wisconsin. I think that's the picture you put on the poster of this team whenever it's said and done.
Great stuff. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. All right, when we come back, might have a little surprise for you. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at AppliedConnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
Shop Woodhouse Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Receive 0.99% APR for 60 months or 2.99% APR for 72 months on the full lineup of 2026 Hyundai Palisades. Plus, rest easy with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundai.com or woodhouseplacehyundai.com with approved credit, tax title license extra, 10% down or trade equity. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Must finance through Hyundai Motor Finance. Stock number H260036. Offer expires January 2nd, 2026. See dealer for details.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, my goodness. Jessica Coody on the ones and twos. I did sing. I I didn't know how well it was being heard over the air, but I did sing. The piano sounded great. That's fantastic. So Jingle Bells, that's by Jessica Coody on the Christmas album, the Husker Radio Christmas album that we're putting out on December 24th, tomorrow. Josh is going to have a lot of work to do to put together this album here in 24 hours, but we have a full Christmas album, 24 songs, Jessica on the piano and me on vocals.
Well, it's a little bit of a problem because I really only know 1.5.
That's tough. Well, it sounds like you're going to have to learn 22 and a half more songs here in 24 hours.
Yeah. And I don't know who would be like your featured. I would say Courtney, maybe John Baylor, probably.
Oh,
we got to make sure that they're featured. So
if we can get the Kent drop too, and get that on there as like interject that as part of a Christmas song. We have a You Betcha. I think we need to create original Christmas songs through the catchphrases that we have here. It's going to be hard to create a Christmas tune with Kaboom as the backdrop of the whole thing, but I think we need to figure it out. Kaboom, You Betcha, Got It. What am I missing?
It sounds like one of your better ideas. Unfortunately, it came on December 23rd.
Yeah, I don't have many good ideas. And next year, Josh is telling us next year that we're going to put it together. We'll start it in October, this Christmas album. The chat can maybe help us write some songs. Jim Briggs, our great listener who's written multiple Grammy Award nominated songs, can help us out as well.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, quickly, because you only have a couple minutes left here tonight, or in 2 segments here. But you spent the weekend completely redoing your charts, and this is going to be our last chance to chat before you get to Vegas, so probably next Monday. But you had to basically redo your entire charts going into this one.
Yeah, I mean, at least some of them. We don't have a depth chart. I don't think Utah does a depth chart. I talked to their play-by-play guy, Bill Riley, and we do know this. They're 2 tackles are going to opt out of the game, first-round NFL draft picks. You have 2 key defensive linemen. One is an All-American, has been out with injury since the Kansas State game a couple weeks back. And then you have Logan Fano, who's the brother of the Outland winner, Spencer Fano. They're both going to opt out and go to the draft. So they're losing 2 key defensive linemen. They're 2 big tackles. Their quarterback is going to play in the game. Their running back, sophomore running back, still very good. They have 2 running quarterbacks. A lot that I've had to revamp and sort of work around, but this is a very good team that is heavily run the football. The issue is for them, they can't stop the run. So unfortunately, you don't have Emmett Johnson in this game.
Yeah, how about when we saw Emmett in studio? He said he'd run for 300 if he was playing
he would have been a confident guy, and I think he would have been right. He ran for 217 against Iowa, who is a top 20 run defense. This is a Utah team that, just looking at the numbers in run defense, they're 112th nationally. So I think Emmett might have had a point.
All right, we got to get to a break. Maybe one more song I got left in me, but we're back to wrap up the show next.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
You expect your home to protect everything you love. But you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That is Jessica Coody as we spin the ones and twos of the Huskers Radio Network. Fantastic. Jessica Coody on the piano.
Yeah.
One of the
My mom
two
is
songs
so
that she
proud when I
knows.
told her we were going to do this.
That is
In fact,
fantastic.
she brought out a book, and I'm like, Mom, you forgot I can't read music. You just have to tell me what to play. But I'm proud of myself for learning, kind of a song and a half in 24 hours. So.
Can you play the guitar?
All right. I do not play the guitar. No.
Okay.
But
next year.
A couple beats on the drums, but other than that, I just mainly piano and keyboard. So. All right. So final couple minutes left here. I'm going to make you answer this in 60 seconds because we probably will have time before we kick this thing off in Vegas, and then we'll have the new year. But what have you thought of your first year, or first, I guess, start to the year, the first half of the year of being with us here on the Huskers Radio Network?
Yeah, I have a lot of time to reminisce when I'm in airports and flying home, and essentially the football year is over. It's a dream come true, Jess. I'm not trying to be sappy here on Christmas Eve, but it's everything that I could have hoped for. It's the first time in my life actually having an office and a TV in the office, certain things that you take for granted a little bit. Working with guys like Josh and Russ and Camden back at the studio, yourself and Damon and Ben. It's just a dream come true. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm wearing these colors and calling Nebraska football games. It's everything that I could have hoped for and more. I'm incredibly grateful, I guess is the words I'd use.
We're grateful for you. And also, I'm glad you're getting to spend some time with Brenda, who has also become one of our number one listeners here over the last few months.
She texts me GBR at the end of every text says GBR. So she is all in. She loves the Huskers, volleyball, everything. She's all in on everything.
All right. Well, enjoy it. And we'll see you in Vegas. And again, we will have coverage for you all throughout, again, flying out on the 26th with the team. They go straight to the practice fields at Bishop Gorman High School. So we will have coverage for you there. Nick Hanley's going to fill in for us because we'll both be traveling, but I will be doing a check-in. We'll have our picks on Friday night, and I think Damon Benning going to join us for a segment there from Las Vegas. We'll have coverage all across our social media platforms and on the YouTube channel, as well as we'll be doing exclusive interviews, coverage of all the different events. The bowl trips are always a lot going on, and so we'll have all that coverage for you, and we will have a full 2 hours coming up on Monday night, and so we'll have lots and lots of content from Las Vegas, and we also have a couple big basketball games coming up next week as well. So thank you to everybody who helped make this possible. Josh Helkman, you're the MVP of the Huskers Radio Network. Thanks for allowing Kyle and myself to do this. Kyle, have a Merry Christmas, Husker Nation, and we'll talk to you out in Las Vegas.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at appliedconnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's Holiday Pro Power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event.